Hey, what's up everybody? This is Tip.
I'm Tara.
And we make up Fit to Travel. And this is actually our first episode of our new series where we're going to start doing more tutorials for you guys. And so today we actually are going to start with a question that we get quite a bit, which is how to start a travel blog.
Or any blog.
Or any blog, yes. Any
travel.
blog, yeah. And we're going to give you our 5 best tips that we came up with. So we're going to start with number 5.
Number 5, pick your topic. Seems obvious, of course, but it needs to be something that you enjoy and are passionate about. So with us, we started, and just because we love travel, we started a travel blog. But if you're not passionate about it, then you're not going to get very far with it. So it needs to be something that you love doing and love sharing about that particular topic, so that you don't get burnt out, because it is something that could possibly be too much.
You really should just start this and have a passion about it, and really it will really shine through with your work.
The more passionate you are about that particular topic, the more fun you'll have throughout. And we've never once felt like this is a job. We've only felt like this is something that we enjoy sharing with others because we enjoy the travel so much.
So we suggest starting it as a hobby and really trying to treat it as a hobby as you go, because then you have fun as you're doing it, and then also it's just, it's not extra work.
Yeah.
4 is to think of a name and make sure that that name of your blog is available out there as a domain, and actually go register that domain. The name doesn't have to be catchy, but the catchier it is, the easier it is to tell people when they ask you the name of your blog. So Fit to Travel is pretty easy. We like the name, and also it's pretty easy to spell it out to people.
It's also something, you also want it to be something that's going to stay with you for a while, right? So you don't want it to be something that you have to change 5 years down the road because you've evolved as a person or as a blogger or whatever. So try to be specific, but try not to get too specific on like Blogger 2018 or whatever, because it just, you don't want to have to change it as you go. So it should be something that should stay with you as you evolve and as your blog evolves. Okay, number 3 is pick a provider to host your site. If you are just starting out and you have no money to spend on the blog, WordPress.com is a perfectly great option because it's free and you can just get out there and start writing. If you have some money and are wanting to get a little bit more customization, there's other options such as WordPress.org. WordPress.org or some of the other sites that you can pay for will give you a little bit more options in the customizing your site, some of the plugins to use, and all of that will make your actual page that much prettier, aesthetically pleasing. But it's not absolutely necessary. Although if you are getting into blogging to monetize and make some money, WordPress.com will hinder that a little bit. So you have to be careful. You can start on WordPress.com and transfer it all down the road. It's just a little bit more of a headache once you get to that point. There's also other sites such as SiteGround and Bluehost and Squarespace that will all do all of your self-hosting for you, and then from there you can kind of do all the themes and pretty stuff.
So we actually originally started working with WordPress.com, and then we switched to WordPress.org, and then now we work with SiteGround, and that's specifically just for the blog, just for fittotravel.com. And then we actually have just recently started working with Squarespace for our videography and photography business. Yeah, so it's 2 different spectrums that we work with. She works more with SiteGround. I work more with the Squarespace. Number 2 is invest in your equipment or your camera, whatever it is you're going to use. Equipment can go as far as your computer or your laptop, whatever it is you're going to write for your blog. And then also the camera equipment is something that is very important because people love visuals. So if you have a blog, you're going to want to put images in there, and you want to make sure that you have quality images for yourself to upload. We started with our first actual video camera. We thought it was super expensive at the time. So the first camera that we actually bought was the A5100. We were so excited. We thought this was a crazy expensive camera, and we upgraded from our cell phones. And actually that camera was amazing. We used it for probably a year and a half, 2 years before we started to want to do more and broaden our horizons. And really, ever since then, I'm a really big electronic guy, and so I go crazy whenever it comes to the video and camera equipment.
That's an understatement. Although you may feel like you need all of the best equipment when you first start, you really don't. Like, that can come down the road. And so just think about like what you can do with what you have now. Like, we use the video camera that we had at the time to our best ability, and it doesn't matter like if you have the most expensive camera or the most expensive video camera out there. It just really matters what you're doing with it, and then you can always upgrade down the road.
Yes.
So that's not like, if you don't have all this money to like spend on everything, it's okay. It will all work out in the end, and you can always upgrade down the road. There's always new stuff coming out, obviously, but people use basic stuff all the time. I mean, you can even use the iPhone and get great photos or videos or whatever and still be successful with a blog.
Just think about the content that you're creating, the type of picture that you're trying to create, the angles. Just think more beyond that, and then it'll be good. And then if you decide to continue on with it, then you can start upgrading.
Yeah, you can always upgrade down the road. And number 1 is to have fun. If you go into this expecting to have fun and being passionate about what you write about, you will enjoy it no matter what. If you go into it with like the expectations that you're gonna make money right away, or it's gonna be like super successful right away, you're gonna get caught up in all of the other stuff that needs to happen for that. But if you can just share things that you enjoy, whether it's food, whether it's travel, whether it's fitness, it will be successful in the end, and it won't feel like it's work.
Yes. That's one thing that we really try to sit back and make sure that we are paying attention to, is that we are still having fun as we do this, and we don't really put too much effort into looking at the numbers and everything like that, because we're having fun doing what it is we're doing.
Well, and you can't have your expectations set too high either.
Yes, that's one thing to really stress, is in the beginning. I mean, you don't want to come in and compare yourself to someone who's been doing this for 2.5, 3 years and think, oh, I need to get to 20,000 page views. You really need to set a goal of, this is what I want to get, and just really make it realistic.
In conclusion, 5 steps to starting a blog. 5, pick a topic. 4, think of a name and choose a domain.
Number 3, pick a provider to host your site. Number 2, make sure you invest in your equipment and your camera.
Number 1, have fun.
Woo! Cheers! Have fun! Woo, 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 woo. And action. So we hope you enjoyed all of those tips and find them helpful. We're going to be doing more of this in the future. We have a couple episodes coming up where we're going to teach you how to book cheap flights, and then also how to grow that blog that we were just talking about. So stay tuned for those. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please just leave them in the comment below. Also subscribe so that you don't miss those next videos, and like and share. See you guys in the next one.